Hey, this is Craig from Captain America Projects, and recently I had the honor and privilege of having a little online chat with one of my YouTube heroes, Nick Johnson. If you haven't checked out Nick's channel, make sure you take a look at it. He does great videos about different destinations. He talks about different states and cities and the good parts and the bad parts, and he has a really kind of funny, dark, sarcastic humor that I love. And anyway, he's got a flourishing YouTube channel, and I've been watching his stuff for a long time. I was lucky enough that Nick let me pick his brain about how to go big on YouTube. So stay tuned and check it out, and hopefully you'll get some awesome tips like I did to help your channel go big in 2021.
I would say I think the thing that helps you grow the fastest on YouTube is number one, consistency, like being able to, like YouTube has an algorithm that I'm always trying to figure out. But one thing that definitely helps is a regular schedule where you are putting out, clearly as much as you can put out is better. But if you can stick to like twice a week and you can put something up like at like noon on Tuesday and noon on Friday, and stick to that schedule, what YouTube will do is they'll start to notice some consistency, and then you'll kind of start to see a little bit of an uptick in not only the views, the immediate views you get. So what's important is if your audience, your subscribers click on it, YouTube says, oh, this is a good video. We will show this to new people then to try to help Craig grow his audience. If your audience does not click on it, then YouTube is going to be like, oh, this is shit. It's going to get buried into very specific searching. So like somebody's got to type in like something very specific to find it. And time on viewing time. So like if you can get people to watch your video for longer than like 6 or 7 minutes, so if you make a 20-minute video, that's great, because especially if people are watching it for more than like 7 or 8 minutes, YouTube is like, that's great. If you make a 5-minute video that everybody watches a lot of, that's less good than like 6 minutes of a 20-minute video, if you know what I'm saying. Right. Watch time is very important. Immediate subscriber interest. So I get these notifications like today I put a video up on homeless Los Angeles, and YouTube's like, oh my God, your audience clicked on it and is watching a lot of it. Sometimes I put something up and they're like, your audience didn't really care, and the watch time was okay, but like people don't really care, they're not as interested. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I knew that going in. It's about Vermont. There's not a lot of people that care about Vermont. So watch time and regular, that will help you grow. Okay. Another thing that really helps is YouTube is really good at matching new potential subscribers to their location or their interest. So like if you do something on, crafting and building barns, there's going to be a much smaller type of people that are going to be interested in that. If you do video games, there's going to be an unlimited, but then you're also competing with a lot of other video game channels, but you have a much higher chance of being discovered by new people. So one thing, that's why the regional thing works, because when I put this unboxing Oregon thing up, like YouTube's going to show it to like a lot of people in Oregon. And if they're watching it for a decent amount of time, YouTube's going to be like, this is really good. So it's going to get a ton of views over time from people in Oregon. So that's why if it's about Oregon, especially in the title, everybody in Oregon is going to see it. If I make something about San Antonio, they're going to show it to people in Texas. So that's one way to get an audience, is either regional specific or like, niche. But you have to watch the niche thing, because if it's specific to, quilting, and you have a quilting channel, you're not going to have a big audience. If it's about DIY, that's a pretty big audience, especially people that are searching for how do I build something. So you're going to be able to get new people in that might follow you over time, but you can't really deviate from Like if you decide this channel is going to be goofy and funny, then you need to be putting out goofy, funny stuff all the time. Like you can't all of a sudden get serious and be like, oh, here I am with my kids at the beach. Like, don't do that because over time your audience will go down. They'll be like, I didn't care about that. I want to see goofy, funny, or I want to see like building Christmas crafts. Like, don't just all of a sudden talk about sports. Like that won't work. It seems easy to you're like, okay, I wouldn't do that anyway. But part of the problem is, you know, your audience wants a specific thing. And if you start doing something that's not exactly that, they're just not going to be as interested because they subscribe to see what you're doing. So if you deviate, then you're going to be the watch time and the interest is going to go down, and it may be a very good video, but YouTube's not going to show it to as many people because your audience didn't care. So why would anybody else? Right. I've been pigeonholed into this like bad side of America, like, you know, talking about bad things. And when I try to talk about good things, nobody cares. Like I put videos, these are the best places to live. These are happy things. Here's good stuff. My audience doesn't care about that. They want to see negative Nancy, the skeptical, sarcastic view. They don't want to see happy. And so I kind of accidentally, I didn't know that at the time, but all those original videos I did that were like the template ones that were like the worst places to live and the redneck stuff. I did those years ago, and I kind of put the channel down and didn't even look at it for like 2 years. And then my buddy's like, dude, there's like 30,000 subscribers on there from people that have just seen these worst and redneck videos and all the ghetto stuff you did. So I started producing more content, and as I made it in that same area of like negative or like, you know, sarcastic, it did really well. But then if I try to branch off and be like, let's talk about other stuff that's not that, it didn't work. The channel was already branded. So I would keep in mind before you, because you're going to have to do this for a while so you'll grow. Pick something that you're going to be able to stick with. Like, I mean, if you want to do funny music videos, you're going to have to continue to stay in that same thing for a long time to grow. Like, you know, you can deviate a little bit, but you can't all of a sudden be like, this is going to be about fishing now. Like, it won't work. And your wife as well. Like, you know, if she's doing crafting stuff, then she needs to continue to, you know, stay in that same thing. You know, so like longer videos that are regularly produced at a time that you can, you know, realistically meet. Like, don't be like, oh, I'm going to do 3 videos a week, and then you get burned out, and then pretty soon you're only doing 1 every other week. YouTube will be like, oh, like, looks like you're kind of not really doing your channel like you were for a while, and you'll notice a drop in your momentum. So pick a schedule that you can stick to it, like to the like T, and keep your audience on as long as you can with longer videos. I know music videos are hard to do, like a parody, like, and I'm not saying that's where you're going to go, but like you can only do that for so long. So maybe you build up to that, maybe like a few minutes of like talking about it, and then you show the video, and then an after, like, so that you can stretch that time. But you also don't want to like waste 10 minutes because people will be like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to waste time. Like, you know, get to it keep their interest, get to it, and then see if you can keep them on the tail end for whatever long you can keep them on. You know, 10-minute minimum videos, but 15 to 20. I know that sucks to like hear, but then your audience is engaged for 8 or 9 minutes, and then you will benefit from that like over time. And you'll notice that YouTube, so to grow, like that's how you grow, is you got to keep your audience engaged so that YouTube will recommend you to other people that are like your audience. I would look at your analytics for both channels to see who because I have no idea who my audience was.
Right.
And then when I looked at it, it was pretty much me. It was like 40-year-old white people that are like middle class, that are mostly men. So like my audience is mostly, I'd say between 30 and 50 white males. And then like that's probably 2/3 of my audience. And then the other is a little older and a little bit younger. But that's just how my audience sort of developed. So I know that. So you should know that too. Go in your analytics and see, is it mostly men? Is it mostly women? Are they relatively wealthy or not? Are they younger, older? Where do they live? So that you can understand that when you start to really put your foot down, like who are we even reaching? Like who's our audience? Yeah.
Okay. And then I was hoping that you would mind, Nick, sharing a little about your journey, just kind of like in a nutshell. I mean, obviously not all the specifics, but like what I'm really curious about is kind of like what made you decide to start doing YouTube, and then how long it took you to make that first 100. You know, when you get, because for me that was like, ooh, it was a huge deal, because that's when you get paid when you hit your first $100, and it took us it was like 2 or 3 years of putting out videos until we made our first. So obviously yours was probably faster. So kind of like what made you get started, like when you hit that first 100, and then just kind of like at what point you hit like I mean, I assume you do this. Is this like your full-time gig?
It's probably 3/4.
Okay.
It kind of went back and forth. What do you mean by first 100? First 100?
Like the first time you got actual money from YouTube.
Okay.
Like how long did that take you from like when you uploaded your first video till like, hey, I can make money at this?
Yeah. You know what? I kind of accidentally reverse backed into it, because the reason I started putting out the videos on YouTube regularly was we were using Facebook. So I have a website, Home Snacks, and we were creating content on there, and then we were going to Facebook and putting ads out that was like, oh my God, if you're from Portland, you need to watch this. Back in 2015, 2014, Facebook, you could spend $20 and make a video go viral. You could make anything go viral because the way that people shared, and Facebook was very liberal about showing stuff in people's feeds. So we would put an ad out, and it would say, here's some Oregon stereotypes. And then, of course, people in Oregon would click on it. And so we started making videos that we could run on Facebook ads for that pointed to our website. So we get paid per visit on our website. And so I cranked out, and that's why all the first ones were all very similar. All I did was change the names. It was all the same template. I was just like, well, today I'm going to do one on Massachusetts. And it was the same exact script. I would just flip the cities that were bad in Massachusetts and use the same video style, because I didn't think anybody was going to see it from other states. It wasn't supposed to have been a YouTube channel. It was supposed to just be a platform where we could host videos. So at some point we got to a couple thousand subscribers, and my business partner was like, hey, we can monetize this YouTube channel now. And I was like, okay. And so we hooked it up to we became official YouTube partners, and it was paying, $300 or $400 a month over time. We weren't making any new content after like a year. Like we did all that stuff, and then it was churning out $300 or $400 a month. Even though we got to like 30,000 subscribers, like we weren't producing any new content, so we weren't like growing. It was just everybody all the subscribers didn't have any new content. They were sitting there waiting for new stuff. It wasn't until he said, hey, let's create some new content on this channel if you want. So I went back and started creating new content, and I went from 30,000 to like 100,000 subscribers in probably 5 months, because I was putting content out like twice a week. And the stuff I was doing, YouTube liked, and my audience liked it, and YouTube kind of gave me a boost. And then I hit like a lull. There was like a period, and I don't know why. It could have been I got a little bit too political. YouTube also changes its algorithm on people. So like all of a sudden you're like, hey, I'm dropping, and you're like, I'm doing everything the same, and you don't really know why. And it's really frustrating when that happens. But I hit a period that I wasn't growing nearly as much, even though I was still doing the same thing. But over time, consistently, I've been pretty much putting out like 2 or 3 videos a week. And it's gone up to, a decent amount. It's growing all the time. Did I kind of answer your question?
Yeah.
So I wasn't the traditional, I didn't just start making it and then I didn't watch it grow from the beginning. I created it and then I went back and was like, oh, it's like growing. And then I just fed the fire and just made it like go.
Go up.
So I had like a good base. And I had there were probably 70 or 80 videos that I did over like a 6-month period that sat there for about 1.5 years without me doing anything, and it grew to 30,000 subscribers, just those videos. I don't know if it's because they were all regional based and YouTube was just showing people in Massachusetts, the Massachusetts one over and over. It was very easy to suggest that video to people in Massachusetts because YouTube knows where they live.
Yeah, right.
It could have been that I was being, when people search for what's it like in Massachusetts, that video ranked in Google. I think that the search volume was pretty high for people that want to know about Massachusetts or Oregon or whatever states. So like if you're wanting to get an organic growth, you kind of have to be about something that people are searching for too. Like you can't just be like, I'm a zany guy that just makes music videos, because how are people going to find that searching for the people don't search like funny music video spoofs.
Right.
So like, you have to be about something that people are searching for as well.
Oh, that's a good point.
You can't be so specific that no one's going to be able to search for you and find you.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
If that makes sense. You should make all your videos about how to build stuff clearly.
Yeah.
Or like how to fix things. Yeah. Is what I would stick to on that one.
Right.
And make it funny and clever like you guys are doing. Front door overhang has a lot of views. Yeah, how to build a work shed, almost 200,000 views.
Yeah, that one was really random too. That one, like, it sat for like 2 years and got like no views, and then all of a sudden, everyone started watching. I was like, what?
Yeah, YouTube's weird like that. Yeah.
Very bizarre.
It's almost like I find that I have a theory. I have a lot of YouTube theories that you can't really prove. I almost feel like they reward you with regularity and like when you do a good job, they'll recommend you more. Sometimes they'll just literally, I feel, recommend your random videos all the time just to keep you up here because you've done a good job. So like they'll just feed you like that amount of cash or views, and you'll find videos that will have like you said, that aren't doing anything, and all of a sudden it blows up because YouTube's like, well, we got to put something, let's recommend that one for a while to keep the numbers up. Or like maybe sometimes it's 20 different ones that they will keep you here. There's been some months that like one video would keep me right here, and then some months that video won't get viewed at all, and there'll be like 20 other ones, there'll be like a bunch of them that keep you there. I think that I don't know, YouTube's not very clear on how they do things, but my theory is that like over time, if you do a good job, they'll boost you more.
Okay.
Almost to kind of reward you. Like, okay, you're here now. Like there's definitely tiers. Like you'll go up here for a while, and then you'll kind of go up and down, and then you'll kind of, and then you're up here a little bit more, and then you'll see a steady, I mean, if you were to like measure it, it's not like this. It's, it's more like this, like steps when you kind of, go up.
That makes sense.
So, but these are all really short. you definitely want to make, because you want to make more money too. So you can stick more ads in to your videos. If once they're at past, it used to be 10 minutes, now it's 8 minutes. You could add extra ads into your videos. But the longer they are, the more money you're going to make on them. So like your fence one's 12 minutes and it has 140,000 views because YouTube's like, people are watching this longer. Even though the eating one was 30 minutes, I don't think people watched it that long.
Yeah, probably not.
But yeah, longer videos. Yeah, 10 minutes on the one that has 200,000 views. You want to be able to do stuff that you can go longer for. Okay, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to ask, like, so you said this is like probably 3/4 of your income is YouTube and stuff. So I was going to ask, like, so what does your normal day look like? Like, do you have like a structured setup? Is that how you get yourself like motivated, or do you just make videos randomly when you're feeling it? Or
no, I definitely do. This is like just about full time. We have a couple websites. The home snack stuff takes up part of my time, where I'm working on like trying to get PR, like links built and get our name out there and do some like marketing for that. But for the most part, like I pretty much write content like all day and edit. Like, I mean, I've got a list of things. I mean, I'm pretty much sitting here. We don't have kids. We travel, but I don't have any hobbies. So I can sit here all day and churn out videos. I mean, it's pretty much a full-time thing.
So you're literally like living the life that we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, let's sell everything, move to the Midwest. We'll have enough money since the house is so cheap. We'll have enough money to kind of live on for, we figure we've got enough to get us at least 2 or 3 years. And so we've got 2 or 3 years to like really get this dialed in. So that's why I'm like, you're kind of in the spot I want to be. So
yeah, it's definitely, you are both going to have to do mostly full time to make this happen. But like, so there's a lot of production work in what I do. Like some people will get on YouTube and they'll just sit here and they'll talk for 20 minutes and then they'll obsess about their thumbnail for 2 hours and then they'll post it and they're done for the day. Like there's no editing. It's just, and they're lucky enough that people, want to watch them talk about their lives. Some of them will edit. They'll be like, here I am going shopping. And these people have like 6 million subscribers and it'll be some like,
I'm like, what?
And they'll go out and they'll be like, here I am going out to do something. And like, then they're editing what they're doing, like they're chopping out the whatever, but there's not as much editing as what I do. I mean, I have like a lot of like graphics and whatever. I've got to track down videos to stick into stuff. I mean, the perfect world would be, like these gamers have it made. They play a video game and they hit record and then they get tons of views and they don't have to go back and fix anything and edit. Like they literally will play a video game and put it up on YouTube, an hour of them playing and just rake in cash, dude. Like $25,000 an hour, some of these guys. That's the best thing, if you could figure out a way that, you could be just like you see these families like it's like all about the family and then like they do something, but you got to really open your life up and you got to be like on camera all the time. And I don't like to be on camera all the time, so I don't want to be like a day in the life of. It's more about just telling a story.
Okay.
Your videos are good. I don't know how much planning that takes. I do, because I used to make spoofy music videos too. What's your other channel called?
Country City Media.
Yeah. Like with that kind of stuff, you might find that.
So I've done 3 music. Like what we want to do is have that channel just be like creative music videos. And I even have an idea that I might, get other people on there doing their music videos and I just shoot them and produce them. That way I get more content going up there. But we've only done 3 music videos, even though that's kind of, I was even thinking like maybe pulling all the other stuff off that channel and just making it just be like the funny music videos.
The problem with that is like, I mean, I used to do that, and like it takes so long to produce that stuff, and then you got to rely on people, and you're constantly battling with like, you're not making your own schedule. You're waiting for people to show up, and then when people don't show up, you can't shoot it. Like if there's a way that you could do that, if you wanted to do that, but like I think you're going to get burned out on like trying to churn it out fast, and your people are going to get burned out, and you're going to constantly be like trying to find people to like. I don't have to have anybody like act. I don't have to wait for anybody to help me. I sit down and write it and just narrate it and put clips over it. You probably are going to get burned out on trying to churn stuff out if you're trying to make it just music video stuff.
Yeah.
You could make that part of it, but like you got to be able to come up with something that you can just sit down in the morning, put it together, and it's done by the end of the day. Like that's what is going to get your like view. That's how you're going to be able to like, and long term, like you have to think long term. That's probably, I would recommend doing like, and mix in your stuff that you want to do, but you know, you got to be able to do something that you can churn and burn, man. It's a grind. There's some days I sit here and I'm like, I don't want to even do this today, but I have to. Like, I mean, you got to keep doing it.
Right. I mean, it's in the end, it's worth it, right? Like to not have to sit behind a desk and do a 9-to-5 job working for somebody.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like I've done that. I spent, years of my life doing a 9-to-5 job. I actually used to be a school teacher for a few years, and I was just like, I want to work for myself and do something I love and enjoy, So but I know that like you're saying, that you got to put in the work, but it's more rewarding because you're working toward something for yourself.
Yeah. Think of every video as like an asset that is going to pay you money, so when it's done, it's like, okay, this is going to pay me money for a long time. But it has to be, quality, has to be a good quality video that, that's longer, and that resonates with your audience.
Okay. That's something I should work on then.
So this one channel has a couple hundred subscribers. So, you want to start creating stuff that will get discovered quickly.
Okay.
So like stuff that people like, so like either regional or like stuff that people are already searching for. You can go to Google Trends and you can see what people are searching for. And you can get an idea on, okay, if I made a channel that was only about cooking, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people that are searching for cooking all the time. Is this going to be a channel that's going to be about, how to paint by numbers? And then you'll search how many people are searching for paint by numbers, and you'll be like, nobody. So, you have to create content that is being searched for so that you'll get discovered.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
But you got to also stay true to yourself. You can't just be like, okay, I'm going to create a cooking channel, even though I hate cooking, because like people are searching for cooking so much, like that'll be good. Yeah, you'll get a lot more views, but then if you don't like it, you're going to be like, well, I don't want to make this anymore. Like, I hate cooking. Why did I pick this?
Yeah, you're going to burn out.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for that interview. I hope you learned as much as I did. It was awesome to sit down with Nick and chat for a bit. And hope you'll stay tuned and hope you check out some of the videos on our channel. We'll also put links down below to Nick's channel and to some of his videos. So make sure you check all that out. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.